3. Good morning to each and everyone. We want to thank God once more for the privilege He granted each one of us to be here this morning. To receive English class. Just before we go forward, I will ask Diana to please lead us in prayer.
Teach, I always pray in all the classes.
Praise the Lord. The Bible said pray without ceasing.
Teach, for real, put Adrian.
Okay, Diana, let's pray. Close your eyes, please, and bow your head.
Okay. Dear Jesus, we thank you for this beautiful day. Thank you for everything you gave us. Thank you for the breeze, for the food,
Yes.
for my teacher, for all my classmates. And now we're going to exposition. We're going to do it good. And amen.
Amen. Thank you so much, Diana, for those words of prayer. Beautiful. Okay, let's proceed. For this exposition, I would like you all to embrace 5 minutes, 6 minutes, the most, or probably the most. So if it kind of extensive, I would like you to try to be brief as possible, between 4 to 6 minutes. It's okay. So that everyone can have their presentation as well. Let us begin. I don't know if there is anyone that wants to be volunteer.
What is it, teach?
Who want to be volunteer? Start out first. If not, well, then I will call name.
You choose more better.
Choose? Okay, I will choose Diana to start. For Harma told me that she are prepared. Oh, yes. Miss Randy told me that you are powerful this morning.
Why did I talk?
Yes,
Present
Diana,
your exposition.
Why did I talk? Okay. Well, teach como.
Remember, first.
Can I start now?
Remember, first, always present yourself. Give a presentation.
What did?
Presentación.
Eso
Yes,
lo tengo, pero es que no lo puedo como poner.
The first. Second, do your best to do it 100% in English.
I can hear nothing.
Do your best to present it in English. Okay?
Come on, Diana, you can do it.
Okay, start then.
Can I start now?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I choose the dog.
The dog. Okay.
Okay. Well, I choose the dog because it is one of the oldest animals.
Wait a minute. Where is your presentation?
That's
My name is Diana. I'm coursing 9th grade.
Okay.
This morning, I will talk about the dog. No, the dog is an animal, blah, 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 like that.
Okay. Good morning. My name is Diana, and I will talk a little bit about the dog. Well, I choose the dog because it is one of the oldest animals in the world and the best friend of the human being. And also because I love the dogs, that's why I choose the dog. And some scientists maintain that the dog is a subspecies of wolf. and the dog is a mammal. So like I said that animal the scientists think like the dogs are wolves. That's what that says.
Okay. Well, really, the dogs are not wolf.
Yeah,
Dogs
and
are families.
I will say things dogs know about human. They know when someone doesn't like you. They can detect disease. They know when you are angry. They observe your fear, and it is contagious. They can tell when they are devastated by another pet or a parent. They can know everything about us. They are very intelligent. That's all, teach.
That's all. So quick. You didn't get much information, or what, Diana?
Well, not that much.
Why?
I was studying another thing and I was not like studying good this.
Why, if this postponed from long ago, it's in the pronto, it's in the prontuary. The information is not much. You didn't give much detail about
Well,
the
I
dog.
did.
All right. Final words, final thoughts. Final thoughts, Diana.
What, teach?
Algunas últimas palabras.
Pues
Palabra
only
de
that
conclusión. Palabras finales.
well, um, I hope that you can like know what is about the dogs, and thank you for your attention.
All right. Well, Diana, really, I fancy that you needed was to prepare better. You know, there is a lot of information about that.
Yeah.
You presented too superficial. Well, thank you so much.
Teach. Teach.
Uh-huh.
You heard what I said?
Oh,
Arlene can't come in because it's not working to her. Her mom just sent a picture.
okay.
Teach. I also did an exposition, you know.
Sorry?
I did an exposition thinking that you had to do an exposition. In PowerPoint.
Well, if you want to do it on PowerPoint, it's okay.
Okay.
Okay, it's okay. All right, Diana. What can I say is, Diana, you have 6. You could prepare much better. There is a lot more information. You was to have the information on you. You know, read, explain, but really, I believe it was too poor, too poor. So you have 6%. Remember to send your report to Microsoft Teams. Okay? All right.
Okay. Mhm.
Okay, let's continue with next. Essie, do you ready for your exposition?
Sí.
Okay, you can start, please.
Eso es sí.
Good morning, teacher.
Good morning.
Colleagues, my presentation today will be about the Black Panther. The Black Panther is a black variation melanins of Siberian species of large felix, especially the leopardo and the howard. Panther habitat. Here, there are two species of the so-called panther, the black panther and the Wonka panther. The first inhabits Africa and some regions of Asia, while it is Asia. While the second is habitat in the regions of South America and Central America. Yeah.
Explain.
Mm.
Explain, please explain.
¿Que por qué lo elegí?
No, que explique.
Yo no sé cómo explicar en inglés.
Haga todo lo posible. No es lectura, acuérdese que una exposición, sé que no manejas a la perfección, pero haga lo mejor que pueda. Tú puedes.
Espérenme, vamos a ver. No sé. No sé, pero cómo explicarlo.
A eso se debe la preparación. Acuérdense que estos son trabajos que acuérdense que estos son tareas que yo o los maestros manda por el prontuario, así que se envían semanas con anticipación para que ustedes se preparen. Por eso pedí que era una exposición, no una lectura. Posiblemente no puede usar las palabras que quisiera, pero por lo menos hacer todo lo posible de resumir lo que leyó. Yo sé que usted puede. No espero perfección, pero haga lo mejor que pueda.
Espérenme, a ver cómo le hago. Espérenme. ¿Ah?
Pero tiene que apresurarse porque faltan los demás.
No sé cómo explicarlo. ¿Y si lo explico en español?
No. Ahí,
Bueno,
ahí tiene la información en inglés. Use esa y use aquellas palabras que entendés.
Say says the Black Panther
Ajá.
is as The normal is black variation, no sé cómo se llama variación. Of Siberia, species
Species.
of layers, phalanx, ¿cómo se llama en especial leopardo? ¿Cómo puedes ir en especial? Especially the leopardo and
Leopard.
the jaguar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Daisy. Thank you so much. You did your best. You did your best. Good, beautiful. Daisy. Daisy. Good, Daisy. I will give you 6. 6.
¿Cómo, pro?
I will give you 6. 6. Tenés 6. Creo que pudiste prepararte mejor. La casa, buscar las palabras que necesitabas para poder expresarte hoy. Pero básicamente ahí lo que hiciste fue más lectura, ¿verdad? Bueno, gracias por su presentación. And at this moment, I will continue with George. Then after George, Cecia.
Mine is kind of long, Kish. I picked an animal that's...
Okay, all right. You can
No,
try
I mean,
to wrap it up in 5-6 minutes.
Okay.
You have 6 minutes, basically.
Okay. Yeesh. Just do it like this, or would you like me to share screen or?
Okay, if you want to share the screen, that's better yet.
Yeah. Wait. Okay. So we do this. Okay. Can you see my screen? Yes, you can. Okay.
We can see your screen.
I see that no one so far has picked this one, so I think we can get into
Nice.
this one. If you hear a chicken and my Paula, please ignore. Okay. Well, good morning, teach and classmates that are present. My name is Adrian Chirinos, as we all know, and I come today to talk to you about the Cetenosaura baqueti, or otherwise known as the swamper wishawilla, or the Utila spiny-tailed iguana. Okay. My objectives are that in general, we get to learn about the animal, its behavior, its habitat, its diet, its reasons why it's an endemic species, why is it still an endemic species considering that it's a reptile, and why is it, or what are the causes that makes it an endangered species. Okay. The Utila spiky tail iguana, otherwise known as the swamper iguana or the Cetenosaura baqueti, lives in our mangroves, in the mangrove forest of the Honduran island of Utila. Now, the the conservation work carried out by the Iguana Conservation Project, in other words, the Iguana Station, aims to ensure the survival of the endangered species of the swamper iguana, which is an endemic species to Utila, as we all know. Hold on. Why aren't you moving? Hold on. Don't do this to me now. Huh. Okay. This is a critically endangered. Great. This is a critically endangered species due to destruction of its habitat, overhunting, pollution of the beaches, which avoid or prevent the reproduction or the laying of the eggs of this iguana, which is something. Hold on, Tish. This thing is giving me trouble. I think I can't share screen.
That's okay.
Okay. It's still giving me trouble. Why are you doing this? Okay, well, looks like presentation's out of the way. Okay, so what do we know about the spiky tail or the swamper as we all know it? It's an endangered species. Where does it live? The mangrove forests of the Utila mangroves. Now, what causes this to be an endangered species? The overproduction of plastic, contamination of the beaches, deforestation of the mangroves, overpopulation, construction of new touristic or home infrastructures, overhunting, considering that it's a very tame animal. It's not like the Highlanders or like the other iguanas that once you get in a pretty close distance that they would just take off running. The swampers, well, they're very chill. They don't run. Now, these iguanas, they take between 2 to 3 months to hatch. Now, after this, they go from normal periods of hatchling to kid to adolescent, then to adult. The normal adult size is between the males is between 50 to 76 centimeters. Now, the females that are 30% smaller than the males are much more teamer than, or much more, yeah, teamer than the males. They do their egg laying processes or their gestation processes from March till around August. And their diet is mostly between crabs, lettuce, or vegetables in general, fruits, and other insects. But they focus mostly on little crustaceans. These, why are they an endemic species? The iguana station is still under the process of investigating the reasons behind why this iguana doesn't exist in other parts of the world. But one of the reasons that we kind of believe that is one of the causes of this factor is that our environment, to which they only have an area of 8 square kilometers to reproduce, live, and thrive, is that our mangroves contain specifically the food that they need to thrive, reproduce, and survive comfortably. Now, how can we tell the difference between a male and a female? A male and a female, as I said, the male is most likely to be 20 to 30% bigger than the female. The male has bigger spines on the back of on its bike or on its dorsal, and it has heavier features, and it tends to be a little bit more aggressive, not much. Now, one of the reasons why this is evolution, it's not really a firm theory, that why the swamper is pretty much obligated to habitat in the swamps is because before they inhabited the swamps, they were like average iguanas all over the place. But due to the fact that they're less aggressive and less territorial, other iguanas like the Highlander or the Cetenosaura similis and the iguana, which is the green one as we know them, they tend to be a little bit more aggressive and a little bit territorial, more than these, which push these into being extinct with the help of humans, of course, and the help of other iguanas that we all know that they eat them when they're young. Sadly. So that pushed this species of iguana to inhabit the swamps, where they are now tending to hold on, but not as much. Because now are obligated to nest on the beaches, which are heavily contaminated with plastic, wood, seaweed, and other dangerous chemicals that can kill the females before they even finish their nesting process. And we only get to see these during the months from March to August because only the females come to the beaches. The males never leave the mangroves. The only time that you're most likely to see a male iguana or a male swamper is when it's the hottest times of the day when they come to get sun, or when it's low tide in the swamps when they go to get their little crabs. Now, they prefer to live in the black mangroves because the black mangroves is not like the red or like the white that they grow like little bushes. The black mangroves grow like a tree, which then after the tree matures, they go and their trunks get hollow. And why do these iguanas prefer these? They prefer these because they use them as houses, so to say, to protect themselves from other birds, other larger predators, and humans. Now, when were these discovered? These were discovered not long ago, in the middle to late 1900s by a German herpetologist or scientists who discovered these while working for the Smithsonian University. He came here and discovered these while making a study on all the types of reptile life that Utila possesses. And he realized that these were the most uncommon. He then realized that they were in much smaller numbers than the rest, which caused him to reach out to a bigger organ. He didn't have any other colleagues. He came here on his own, conducting a study to the class. After he discovered that these were in smaller, the steady grow. Now, over the years, he studied them. He stayed here for a few years, and he then later on founded the Iguana Research and Breeding Station, otherwise known by everyone else as the Iguana Station, who now thankfully now has a big program called the Eco Leaders, or you can volunteer. Foreigners from all over the world come during the certain months of March till August to help with the breeding and the maintenance of the iguanas that were already there and with the newborns that are collected from the swamp to then later on, when they're mature enough, to be released back into the wild. Now, I hope to conclude, because I don't want to prolong too much, because I got a charla about this since I volunteered in the iguana station for a few months. That lasted 2 hours. So to conclude, these are an endangered species due to over excessive human activity. These iguanas have learned to adapt to their natural predators. They know how to defend themselves when it comes to a bird or to other animals. But when it's coming to our activities, they don't know how to adapt to that. They sadly they're not like the rest. They 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 don't think outside the box. So I hope to have caused awareness about this special breed that we have, that even to the United States and certain parts of the United Kingdom and Europe have tried to cause them to reproduce, but we were the only lucky ones to get them in big numbers, because not even to the United States nor the United Kingdom got a successful reproduction process where they grew in numbers. So I hope to have caused awareness about the special type of iguana that we have here and only here on Utila, and to kind of make an awakening onto the weight of the specialness of this type of iguana, and to try and give you a little bit of motivation to try and take care of them so they can have a healthy stay.
Thank you so much, George, for your wonderful participation this morning. Just a question I want to ask. Um,
How does it go?
are these creatures in extinction?
No, sir.
No.
But ever since Utila's population, when I say Utila's population, I'm speaking in general. Once our population started to grow, theirs started to decrease.
Okay.
Because before, half of our island was mangroves. Then later on in the process, when we started to grow in numbers, we started deforesting their habitat, causing it to
Okay.
shrink. And by doing that, we contaminated with artificial chemicals such as cement and other substances, which cause these animals to stream their population into a small area where it's still unhealthy for them to grow because it's not too much, but
Okay.
even to that small little area of 8 square kilometers is contaminated. So even there, they have a hard time. But they are not extinct, but they are near extinction.
Okay. The only spot you can find him in the world is here in Utila. And Utila.
Yeah.
Okay.
They tried to make them grow or make them reproduce in the United States and in other parts of Europe, but those programs were not successful.
Yes, not
So they just
successful and
decided to shut
only
them down.
Utila. All right. And thank you once more. Good job. Congratulations. Cecia, time is up. So Cecia and the rest, we will do this till the following class. God's will. God bless you. Have a nice day. Take care.
No.